Hi, this is David Orlofsky, and welcome to the Parsha in 5, where in 5 minutes we try to give you a little insight to be able to enhance your Shabbos from the Parsha. Parsha Shoftim tells us the following story. When you go out to battle against your enemy and you see the army coming towards you, Lo sira mehem, ki Hashem Elokecha imach, amalchem eretz Mitzrayim. Don't be afraid of them. And then when you get closer, the Kohen says, as you are going to go to battle against your enemy, Al yerech levavchem, do not be faint-hearted. Altir, don't be afraid. Al tachpezu, don't panic. Al ta'artzu mipneihem, and do not be broken before them. Ki Hashem Elokeichem, ha'holichem achem li'olachem le'em, ha'mayveichem lo shiyeschem, because Hashem is going out with you to fight. So Rashi immediately observes, why is there such a kefil lashon? Basically, the Kohen says, don't be afraid, don't be afraid, don't be afraid, don't be afraid, 4 times. What's the point? So Rashi says, because there's 4 things that the Umas HaOlam do when you go out to battle. And he sets them up in order as the following. He says, they trample their horses, their hoofs, to be able to make that kind of noise. And then they bang their shields to terrify you. And then they blow shofros, horns, and then they scream out in voices. So obviously there's a progression over here. Rav Dessler says all of them is just noise. Sound and fury and signifying nothing. So it's just noise. It's just that the Yetzer Hara keeps changing the noise. That's what, when you get used to one, the other one comes in and throws you off. But perhaps there's a little deeper idea here about what these things are doing. Because the Zohar Kodesh says whenever it says milchama, whenever it says war, it ultimately means the milchamas hayetzer, your fight against your evil inclination. And so he says, do not be afraid in this battle. Don't be afraid of the horses. Don't be afraid of the shields. Don't be afraid of the shofros. And don't be afraid of the human voices. What's the progression? I wanted to suggest this. I didn't see it anywhere. When you confront the Yetzer Hara, your first inclination is, I'm going to run away. And he tramples his horses and says, I'll chase you wherever you go. So I say, I will fight you. And he pulls out his shield and says, you can never defeat me. All right then, I'll ignore you. And he blows a shofar. A shofar is a primal scream. It reaches to our nefesh bahamis, to that animal inside of us. And it says, there's panic, there's danger. And on a visceral level, we have this terrible fear like an animal. Fight or flight. That's just natural. But we say to the Yetzer Hara, I am not an animal. I am a human being. I can overcome my base fears. I don't have to be afraid of the dark or the howling of the wolves at the moon or all of the other things that fill animals with terror. I can make choices. Cannons on the left of me, cannons on the right of me, cannons in front of me, Valilians thundered. Into the valley of death rode the 400. Yeah, 600. Sorry about that. I was thinking about the Milchama with Asaph 400. Into the valley that rode the 600. Yeah, we can face our fears. I am not an animal. And then the Yetzer Hara speaks to us in a human voice and says, I am you. It's a comic strip, a political comic strip many years ago called Pogo. And it was this famous quote, "We have met the enemy and he is us." The Yetzer Hara speaks in your voice. The Yetzer Tov says, "Don't you want to get up in the morning and go to shul?" And the Yetzer Hara says, "No, I want to stay in bed." He doesn't say, "No, you want to stay in bed." He says, "No, I want to stay in bed." And you hear that voice and you think it's you talking. At that point, we just give up. Because we believe that we ourselves are evil. And we don't have the strength to stand up against the Yetzer Hara. And therefore, the only way we can defeat him is with HaKadosh Baruch Hu on our side, making sure that he gives us the chizuk necessary to be able to withstand the test and defeat the enemy. And so as we start getting ready for Elul, let's keep in mind the fact that we have to have the help of HaKadosh Baruch Hu for us to do tshuva, to be able to defeat the Yetzer Hara, Emir Hashem. Shabbos.